Well, hello there, friends. This is Sylvia running with needles and scissors, and I am back from market. This is pretty much the midpoint between coming back from market and leaving for Germany. So that's up next. But it is, oh, geez, time flies in daylight savings time. It's about 20 to 4, and on a Sunday, this is March 15th, I think. Okay, we're not going to dilly-dally. I'm going to get right to the point first. As always, thank you for watching and, coming back time after time to see me throw things and drop things and just being generally a hot mess. But what I wanted to do today was recap market for you, show you what I brought home and where we're going next, I guess, if I get that far. We'll see. The dogs are on a walk with my husband, and they'll probably throw themselves into the house and bark a little bit when they come back. So in advance, I apologize for that. It is super, super windy out. My hair kind of got fluffed and whatnot when I came back from church. But yeah, the winds here have been crazy. Not quite sure what's going on. Okay, for the first time, I am recording, and I'm going to take my glasses off because as every time, it drives me nuts, the reflection and the shading and whatnot. For the first time, I'm recording on a MacBook, so we'll see how that goes. It behaves a little differently than my iPad, and it's a slightly different angle, and you see the blanket that I forgot to get out of the shot. So let me do that because it's really bothering me. Kind of like that. Well, not too bad. All right, I'll tilt it a little. Nope, it doesn't matter. Okay. Market. Oh boy, oh boy. It sure was different. Why is this? Okay, just keep going. The screen went dark. Okay. It sure was different this time because the hotel, as you probably heard, was not done with its renovation. The lobby was completely tore up, and they were laying tile and carpet. Even though they worked like bees and were very quick about it, it was still quite disruptive. There was a lot of, on the third floor, you heard the sawing of the tile and whatnot. And during the main part of the weekend, breakfast was served in the ballroom, but it really was so not conducive to socializing. Whereas somehow in the, down in the lobby when the little tables are set about and you just walk by people, you say hi. Same thing in the evening when you're done and you're walking through the lobby, or if you're going to hang out in the lobby and drink, you just see a lot of people. And that wasn't the case this time around. Other than that, it was super busy. It was a massive market in terms of designs and the quality, and everybody had great stuff. I think my list in terms of what I wanted to buy was longer than it has ever been. And I didn't even buy everything. I gave up after a while. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It was exhausting, this one. I don't know why, but I think you've heard it from other people. It was just a really tiring market. It was busy, which is great. But yeah, I was wiped out afterwards. And then, of course, coming home and, doing catch up and, focusing immediately on the new stuff that I have to produce or that I want to produce. I don't have to do anything, but that I want to produce, with the Germany trip coming up, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Anyways, but, there are worse things for sure. Let's see. We got there Wednesday. My friend Don Eck joined us. I'm going to have to keep refreshing the screen or keep it alive. Dawn joined us, came down on Wednesday. Also, when she left her house, she immediately had some vehicle problems, which she solved, and then she made it down there. Miriam and we drove into town. What did we do? We had to stop at TJ Maxx because I forgot all my jewelry and I didn't want to be quite that jewelry-less. So we stopped at TJ Maxx, picked up a few things. Some of the best place to buy sterling silver jewelry is TJ Maxx. And then we got to the hotel. The competition for carts is always fierce, and we need to remember to get there just a little bit earlier to snag a cart. We had a cart, a small one that I bring, but a big luggage cart most certainly helps. And so yeah, we had to jockey for one, which we finally ended up with one, and by that time we had most of it up in the room, but the big stuff like the room dividers, the stuff that I used to hang things up, were still in the car and the shelving and whatnot. So we got that done. We were pooped. Dawn made it. We went to dinner, had a lovely dinner. Um, got back and started setting up the room, and I bought a peg wall room divider, which was really great and very reasonably priced to hang things up. And the hooks I got didn't work. We needed peg hooks, so we Googled where they would be found, and we got that done the next day. As we were running around, we stopped at the at a couple antique malls right off the bat because we were meeting Sarah and Christy from Half Pony Creek Stitchers for lunch. It was so wonderful to have them come down and meet us, and it was great meeting them. They're really lovely, and their stitching is divine. So if you don't follow them, follow them. They really, the photography, etc., just lovely. And so we had a very nice afternoon, and I can't remember then what we did after that. I think we met with Becky Nolan from Lucy Beams for dinner, but her daughter was coming down with a migraine, so they had to bail and get her back to the hotel. It was, she needed to lay down. And we finished up our dinner, returned home. That was Thursday. Returned to the hotel. And Friday we were teaching a class. I freaked out a little bit because I didn't have my General Arts floss yet. And I'd knocked on their door and they weren't there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this Friday morning? And anyways, so after breakfast at a reasonable hour, I went back and knocked at their door and they were there, and I picked up my floss order. And we finished up the kits and went to teach our class. It was really, really great. We discovered a snafu with the pattern. And the pattern is for Mary's sampler and satchel. That was the exclusive, which sold out, except I have just a handful of patterns for my website that I kept back. But what happened was we were in class and Susan from Liberty Hill Needleworks said like, hey, I'm not sure, but I'm not seeing the lower right-hand corner of the sampler. And I'm like, what? And so I went and looked at it, and sure enough, for both samplers, the lower right-hand corner was missing. And what happened was when the document got sent to the printer and it was correct, it had to go as a Google Doc. And when it was uploaded into the actual printer or whatever they do there, it dropped those two sections off the page. They were combined on one page. And because it was pasted into that page. Anyways, we didn't catch it prior, so I ended up printing that whole page on my little printer. That's not made for that, but it was a solution that we could offer, and then we could at least hand out the patterns. So if you bought one of those patterns, you will have two loose pages in there that allow you to finish the two samplers. Anyways, but it was a good class other than that little shocker. And then we had the industry meeting. Always interesting to see what people have to say and where people's minds are and what their hurdles are, etc. Overall, I thought it was a pretty productive meeting. And Zweigart spoke after, which I would have loved to have stayed, but I had to go print pages. So I went and did that. And then market opened, and it was we were busy. Friday is always a little hit and miss because people are there to buy their fabric. That's their priority on Friday, to get that fabric. And then later on, as things quiet down in the fabric area, they start visiting the designers. But it goes till 8, opens at 4, goes till 8, and there's no time for dinner. And, at 8, I'm just not eating at 8 p.m. at night. I'm just not doing it. So we had some cheese and crackers that night, a decent breakfast the next day. Again, all day long, no break for lunch. I think they had was it that day they had cupcakes, or they came around with ice cream? Well, that was lunch. So whatever they handed out was lunch for me and Miriam. And then we did go out to dinner I went with Annie, proper stitcher, and Dawn, our friend who was helping her actually. I think it was just us. And let's see. Then came Sunday, and there were some designers that had gotten together and they were releasing these platitudes. And so we really were quiet for that time. It kind of dinged everybody's business that wasn't participating or wasn't invited to participate. And then it picked up again. But at that point in time, I save all my running more or less for Sunday and, going down to weeks. And I stopped by and saw Jim from Gentle Art and, saw some fabric dyers, some other thread dyers that I haven't used before and things like that, and picked up a little bit of my wish list. And that just wraps up market. And then it closes at 4 and you're taking down your room, repacking everything. And it was funny because, I was concerned that I wouldn't get everything in the car. And I did. And there was room left when I texted Miriam. I said, we got plenty of room. Bring all your stuff, because she travels with a pretty big cosmetic case and then her suitcase, et cetera, and then her clothes. And I said, no problem. We got plenty. And, boy, it was like Jenga to get everything in at that point. I was like, ooh, okay, not as much room as I thought. Well, I thought on the way back, because we did sell out of a lot of I had very few patterns left, which is great. And I thank you all for that. Packing it back up, I thought, no biggie. There should be plenty of room, and we barely could get everything in the car. I don't know what happened, but it was, we were like, probably because we weren't as diligent as we were on the way out in terms of how we stacked things in the car. But nonetheless, it was, we barely got it in, and I said, I don't even know how that happens, but there we were. And then Monday morning, it was time to drive back home, and that was market. It's so fun. It really is. It's so fun to be there, but it is a beating. You are tired and done for when you're finished. Let's see what I bought. Oh, one funny story. So shortly before we opened on Friday, I'm walking along on the 3rd floor, and Mason Linen is just around the corner from us, and people were lining up for Mason Linen, and I saw that the curtains were open, and Patty Mason was standing there, and Patty and I have struck up a friendship, and she's just a lovely lady. And so I knocked on the window real hard, so that she would hear me. I said, excuse me, and I kind of cut into line, and I knocked on the window real hard. And she looked up, and, she had a big smile, and she blew me some kisses, and I blew her kisses back, and, and there were looks in the line at me, and somebody said something. I forget what they said, but I turned around and I said, oh, yeah, no, that's my mom. And they were all like, that's your mom? I was just like, no, that's not my mom. And later on, when I told Patty that, she laughed, and she goes, how old are you? And I told her, and she did some math, and she goes, well, it could have been possible, she said, but it would have been illegal. So there we are, Patty, my mom, Patty, and me. So anyways, all right. Then let's start with the show and tell. The first thing I actually want to show is something my friend Lynn stitched for me she's part of the Queen City Sampler Guild, and she stitched this lovely little piece for me because I said that I like this designer, and so she went out and stitched me a thing from this designer, and she stitched it on 46 count, and this is just beautiful. So this is Cedar Hill, and I think it's the December bouquet. And it is, so very pretty. I'm holding it real close so you can see there's different sizes of eyelets, and it's just lovely. And she just did it because, and that is just so touching to me. So Lynn, my dear, I love it. And I've contemplated what I'm going to do with it, and I think I'm going to put it in a really beautiful chunky frame. And it might read December, but I don't care. It's going to be out all year. So just really loved it. And it was just such a lovely gesture. It really, really touched me. Then let's go on with the market goodies. Well, I'll show you my linen. I did post a picture on Instagram, but here's the linen I brought home. See, I had to stuff this piece back in there, but this is a whole gradient run from Mason Linen, and then this green, and then there's, I don't know what this one is, but this is Strawberry Emery. And I have been after, she brought a run of it last year, just one set, and they were 32 count, and I think I talked about it because I'm obsessed. And so she brought one last year, it's 32 count, I think, if I remember correctly, possibly Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs picked that up, but I didn't want 32 count, so I just left it. But she has officially incorporated this into her line. This is Strawberry Emery. It is absolutely fantastic. So crazy pretty. And then there's a couple of new colors here that haven't been released yet. And then here is some Tabby Cat linen. And this is Cookie Dough from Needle Bling Design. It's not reading properly, but that's okay. And I'm going to be kitting up Mary's sampler and satchel. And I'll let you know when those are ready. I've got the linen already. I'm just waiting on threads, and then it'll be ready to go. That was the linen. Then, and I don't think I ordered any. Let's see. Oh, while we're talking linen, I also got my Color and Cotton Wood Smoke Fabric of the Month. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It reads gray, but it has way... Let's see if we can find something white. Here's something white. Let's see here. If we can... Oh, it still reads gray. It's got a lot of brown in it. It's really, really, really beautiful. On 40 count. So there's that. Didn't I say like 3 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, I didn't need more linen? Anyways, okay. What else did I bring home? Let's start with this. This is how my... It was a lot, I'm just telling you. Okay. I walked into Hoffman at some point or another and saw the display from Soed Dide, which is Simone de Jong, I think. Anyways, you can't really see it, but it's a little suitcase. And then when you open it, it's darling. And I just had to pick that up. Oh, well, here you go. There you go. The suitcase is open. So pretty. These suitcases, you can get them here now. They are super popular in Europe. So I have a blue one. That's probably not the right color for this. But anyways, loved it, picked it up. I also got the Blackbird book, which I wonder if it's still in here. I might have taken it. No, here's. I might have taken it for bedtime reading. So here's the Blackbird book, Remember Me. These are all the designs that are in it. Very, very, very much Blackbird. And if I remember correctly, I read through it a little bit. Yep, this one here, this block is still done by Barb. And I thought that was so special. Everything else is Alma, but this one is Barb. Lovely. Lovely to incorporate her. Then, let's see. Oh, let me just pull this whole bag out, see what comes out with it. We just had to combine, and so it's not necessarily together in the right place. I swung by Proper Stitcher Annie. Her room is always so Annie. It's her, totally very romantic, very soft. And the thing I saw on the wall was the Bird of Bordeaux. Oh my gosh, got it right away. It again, pictures never really communicate how beautiful this is. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it's stitched on, ooh, one more reproduction by Bestitch Me. It was perfection. Really, it was. So I grabbed that. Oh, let's see here. So much. Then, of course, on the Plum Street sampler end, I think we got two. I got Pledge of Allegiance, which I'm much more interested in stitching in. And I think I wanted to go a little darker than it is. And this is really what this, I'll use a portion of this, is Licorice by Tabby Cat. I wish I had time to pull the threads, but oi, 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 there we go. I think it's gonna look great. Just a little darker than it actually is in real life, but it was gorgeous in real life. It's upside down. There you go. All right, there you go. Pledge Allegiance. Anyways, really, really lovely. So I think I'm gonna do it on that. That here. Of course, I had to get a worthy Patriot. It's huge. It's massive, but so uber cool. Paulette's done it. And I got the Golden Apiary by Summerhouse Stitchworks. I saw it stitched by a friend, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I can't figure out is what this topper is. It was when she stitched it, she got a kit and that topper was in it. And when I went in to look at the drum myself personally, that wasn't on there anymore. So it doesn't tell you how to do it, what it is. It would have been cool. Okay. But it is gorgeous. I felt this was one of the prettiest things at market, and it is the Blue Flower Cone Flower Chorus. Oh my gosh. The model itself, absolutely stunning. And Miriam was so kind to run and get the Valdani. Here you go. Valdani. Woo. Flosses for it. And it really looks fantastic on the Beanstalk by Fiber on a Whim. She also hunted that down for us. So there might be a little bit of a whip at some point. But it is, I mean, the colors are stunning. They might not look it here on it, but seriously, just it works really, really well. The only thing, now I've gotten Valdani pearl cotton that I did the mesh bag with that just about toasted my fingers. I needed a thimble for it. But getting the skeins apart was terrible. The packaging, they're just wound like that. I'm not sure how DMC does theirs, but it's different and it doesn't pull apart like DMC. So you have to take the whole thing and try not to tangle it and undo it so you can actually use it. Boy, I wish I would appeal to them to figure out how to do this differently, because these are the same. I've heard from my friend Dawn that it took a lot of time and patience to get these undone and ready to use. So be warned, but beautiful colors. Wonderful. I'm going to combine these two. Janine really, really hit it out of the ballpark, and that model was to die for. I made it up to Teresa Kogut's room way late. I think my other Teresa Kogut stuff is somewhere else. Let's see, because this got divided. Ooh, I don't know. Is this it? Nope. Well, when we get to it, we'll get to it. Let's see. Anyways, I had to put in an order. Most of it was sold out. Of course, she did a fabulous job. I wasn't going to get the stocking, the patriotic stocking, because I was like, I can live without it. And then, of course, when you're in that room and you see how gorgeous it is, yeah, I got it. So patriotic stocking, I got one more thing from her, and then I had to put an order for the rest that I wanted. So when that comes in, I'll show you. Of course, one of them was Midnight Santa. How could you live without it? Now, I have been waiting for Hannah Whitaker Thorn since, I think Thorn is the place, maybe. So Hannah Whitaker, since I saw it at, they were going with the names. Costage Antiques. What's her name? I know her name. It's just gone right now, and I know you're telling me what her name is, and that's not helping. So, oh my gosh, it'll come, and I might blurt it out just at random later on when my brain relaxes. Anyway, so Hannah Whitaker, we saw it at her house, the antique, and I just fell in love, and I was so excited to see it all done and released, and it is gorgeous, huge, huge. Let's see how big this thing is. Oh yes, 297 wide by 455 high. So it's a big girl. Worth it. Worth it. Absolutely a stunner. And then my friend Robin from Old Willow Stitchery released an aqua sampler called Rachel Moxham. And she also is a beauty. Completely different than Hannah. See how different these Quakers can look? Anyways, got that one, of course. And let's see. A couple things from, oh, the other thing. I did get her platitude, but it's not in here. Platitude. From Shakespeare's Peddler, which is the autumn fragment, sampler fragment. One of my friends had the idea of doing all four of them together, which I think is great. I mean, they're not necessarily made to go together, but they're the same size, so you could. I thought that was a great idea. She might kill me for revealing that. The Ohio Star quilt, of course. So cool. The A Cheerful Heart. Ugh, darling, darling. Wonderful. And, of course, Peace on Earth. Had to have it. I wonder if things were corrected. There was a issue with the roof color, and I'm sure she's corrected it. But here's this. Just fantastic. She is one of the most creative designers, I think, in terms of her versatility and what she does. Teresa is. All right, then I dropped by Fleur de Paris, met Helen, who's my account rep, and I told her I'd never ordered from them. I have an account, but I just never did order from them, and she says that she knew that. Oops. Okay. But I got this beautiful little German Vasa scissor. So it's pronounced Vasa, not Waza. So the German W is pronounced V, Vasa. There you go. Oh, feels really great. Such a beautiful pair. And then they had, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm slowly descending into the bling mania, the sparkle. I don't know what's happening. But anyways, I like it. And this is all of the DMC colors in the, what is this stuff called? Diamant. I don't even know how to pronounce it any other way. I'm pronouncing it German. So it means diamond in English. Really gorgeous. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you know, something. But I wanted to have them, so here they are. Let us see. Miriam, my friend, gave me these threader with cutter, petite cut. She says these are her most favorite threaders because the wire doesn't get distorted. So she gave me a package. Can we see them? Yeah, so there's a little cutter on one side right there, and then you can see the wire. Anywho's, that was that. This is almost empty. Oh, let's see, there's a few things here. Oh. My friend, and oh dear, it is still recording, but it has popped me out on the screen. Let me redo it. There we go. I don't think I'll be recording on my computer anymore. This is stupid. Okay. We were dying for a hand. And Vicky, the ever so creative Vicky, managed to save us one. So cool. I saw Vicky wearing it at, see? Wow. Maybe lower. Maybe here. in Colorado, and I was really admiring it. These are so well done. I know she's restocking, so if you didn't get one, don't despair. There's more coming. And of course, I got her obligatory lens cloth. How pretty is this? How pretty is this? I don't know if this has been released or it's one of hers. I'm sure it's one of hers. Anyways, I'll toss it into my travel bag, and then I can clean my glasses on the road. And then my friend Miriam gave me, it's like, well, it is a needle holder, needle keep, but Michelle Inc. was wearing it as a name tag holder. That worked really well. Look how pretty these are. I took her class last year at Market. I can only recommend getting Michelle Inc. in. This is so cool, making your own. It's so cool, and it's so easy. I mean, like, you don't need any talent, and it's done in class. You're done. So, and then in the mail, you get these fabulous things that you made. Really, get her in. Okay. Whoop, is this empty? Oh. Hold on. And I just picked up 2 frames from Old Colonial. They are our neighbors at Market. I love them. And, I'll probably use these to stitch something itty bitty, not necessarily for designing purposes, but maybe. But I think one of these I want to do an exchange in. So we'll see. Okay. That cleans up that bag, but there's another bag. Okay. On we go. Here are the new colors from Gentle Art. Ooh, nice. 2 wools. One is Blueberry and Moonlit Path. Very, very cool. I love wools. If you haven't worked with wools yet, it's fun. It really is. And then here we have Country Redwood, Shipwreck. I feel like a shipwreck. And Kelp. All right. There we go. Country Redwood, so a dark, oh no, this is wool also. Awesome sauce. Okay, over here. Then 2 cottons. Shipwreck and Kelp. Very pretty. That's a very interesting green. Of course, golds, always useful with a little bit of green in it. Very nice. All right, let's put that away. That is, and they always give out a pouch like this, and there's pencils and a ruler. Oh, a sharpener, an eraser. So always very generous. Let's see. This is a really hotly sought after item at Market. Weeks always gives out, Weeks Dye Works, this toffee, and it is to die for. It's so very, very good. I'm surprised it's still in one piece, but it is. The new colors, they've been separated from each other. I've got one here that won't be out for a little bit. It's called Coquina. I don't know. Somebody read that for me. Okay. It's a very pretty light beige color. The others will appear as I dig through this bag. We always get a snack bag from Needlework Retailer. It might have been rated a little bit, but there's Cheez-Its and Cheetos. Oh, Rob didn't know this was in here, though. Otherwise it would be gone. Little cupcake, a chewy granola bar. I could have eaten this while I was starving. And a mini bar from Kind. And then I saw at the bottom of this was also a fruit snack. Okay, and let's see. Did I see the colors down here? Nope. Nope. Came home with some Glorianas, the new colors while we're on threads. Really pretty. Very fun. Whee. So here are the new Gloriana colors. Oh, love this one. Love this one, the greenish one. Very, very pretty. And then she was, oh, here come the dogs. Then she was kind enough, oh, here's some, what is this one? Outer Space. Okay, there's a new black that I didn't get. Matilda. Sorry, she's gonna bark. She's just a barky little girl. All right, then you see him again in Tudor, and this one was gone already, so they gave it to me in Tudor. And then, okay, all right, shush.
Matilda.
Okay, babe, it's enough.
Matilda, come here.
Come on, don't. It's fine. I'll take her. Come on. It's family dog life. It's just what it is. Come here, girl. Come here. No, you can stop barking. Come here. She can't reach me because of all the stash. Okay. And then I picked these. These are luminescence. Oof. Such a pretty palette. Oh, fun. I'm going to have to come up with something. Love it. They're so generous with me. They're like, come here and pick stuff. I'm just like, two. And they're like, pick more. I'm like, okay. I also ordered some Threadworx. Really interesting, beautiful line of threads, I have to say. And they also have overdyed silk of Aeroswa, which I did not get. I just got some of the cottons. A quick stop with Brenda Gervais and a short little chit chat, and I came home with Amazing Grace, of course. So pretty. The models, you know, you think like you're safe, you're not going to get it, and then you go in and you see the models, and you're like, one of each. With needle and thread, so cute. So cute. Can you see? There we go. Of course, this home on Quaker Lane. Yes. I don't know. Home on Quaker Lane again. Was there a plan? I have no idea. So those are the ones I picked up from Brenda Gervais. Very pretty. Wait. And ABC 123. It's out because I looked at it closer. That too is so, I mean, that model was so pretty. So pretty. She is so talented. Let's see what's in this bag. I have not even. Oh, super cute. Let's see, where's the other one? A little threadboard from Willoughby Ann, from Barbara Anna. Willoughby Ann is the distributor for it. I love threadboards. I collect them in a offhanded way. And then I also got the little needle minder for it. I got one for my friend as well because, you know, she deserves it more than that for sure. Okay. Oh, I thought this pattern, which is now a little bent, was the most creative flag and the most fun flag. Sorry about that, Robin. It's all bent. Of Market. My plan, if I ever get around to it, I really do want to, is just to stitch this portion and then just put a 1776 right here. But how, just the prettiest. Really. Lovely. It's stitched on, doesn't say, oh, Vintage Country Mocha, which I always appreciate, easy to get. And then Weeks Dye Works. Very fun. Oh, here's the other, nope, hold on, here's the other one from Teresa Kogut. I really like this one better than the other, the drum. So she had two of them, and I'm wondering if she tells you what it's mounted on. Let's see. Yes, a paper mache round box, but what size? No, does not say what size. Anyways, ooh. I thought it was, love it. Love it the mostest. And that thing just counts as dropping, so that my criteria has been fulfilled. Now, this is a Queenstown sampler, Helen Patum, 1836 from Scotland. And I saw Ellen Chester stitch it all year long. We're both part of the same guild, and so I saw her with it every once in a while, and it's been just haunting me, so I had to pick it up. Picture does not do it justice at all. Go look at Ellen Chester's stitch, but oh my gosh, just gorgeous. And it's always fun to see Barbara, and she's just so knowledgeable and kind, and yeah, it's just a fun stuff. Okay, there's stuff down there. Okay, and there was a gal in with Barefoot Needle Arts, and I love those ladies from Barefoot Needle Arts. They're great. They do a fantastic job with their business, and they're just very kind and wonderful people. Anyways, they invited this gal to come in and vend with them. It's the original Schneedelminder. It says part needleminder, part scissor keep. Oh, Schneedelminder. Anyways, I got two because they have little, you see, it's like a retractable. Okay, so here's the little dachshund. She had to look through all her stuff to find me the dachshund. And then here's just a little regular puppy dog one, which I thought was so cute. So I'm going to open this. And it's by the Cottage Cat Designs. The original scissor, so Schneedelminder, I think. So you clip it on. It must be, I wonder if it has a little magnet on it. I don't have a needle on me, so I can't tell, but I will report back. See that? And so you can just clip it. 1 minute. Let me get the tresses out of the way. Okay. Oh, there goes my, there we go. All right. Oh. Okay, it's made for more talented people than myself. Anyways, I can't get it on. But it has a little slip thing, and I should pull it back. But anyways, so it goes on. Clip your scissor to it, and it's right here, and you can just cut and be professional about it. Super, super cute. I think that empties that bag. This bag is empty-ish. And then what remains, like I said, my list was a little longer than that, but I had to just, I was done. What remains, is the platitudes, which my sweet friend Becky from Lucy Beams, I thought hers was one amongst the best. And her finishing was absolutely just so good. Anyways, so here are her two plates. The big plate says "Make It So," and the little plate has a sweet little tomato on it. And she's got a vintage dictionary paper ruffle underneath and some perforated paper underneath that. Looks really, really great. The pictures just doesn't do it justice, but the "Make It So" is so much fun. And then I picked up her "God Hath Said" because I'm an Adam and Eve fan. I don't know how you don't like Adam and Eve's, but, to each their own. I'm just teasing you guys. And then I thought the other one that was really, really beautiful was Teresa's from Kitten Stitcher, and it says "Play Nice." Now, it supposedly in French says "Soyez sage," and I always thought sage was be wise, but who knows? And then there's amité down below. Just written, the plates were precious. And, here's the new classic colorworks. I don't know where my Weeks Dyeworks went, the new Weeks Dyeworks. I know it's somewhere. Here is the new, these are strong, classic colorworks. It is Ponderosa Pine, Sedona, Lakeside, and Gold Rush. That Lakeside is much weight. Looks a lot greener. rather than blue. So I'll flip it over. You can see where it reads blue here, but it's really green in essence. It's this green right there. Anyways, very pretty colors. And the rest of it is none other than Stacy Nash. I think I got every single one of them. So we've got Pip, and Cottage. There you go, there's Pip. That's the one side. That's the other side of the book. I ended up with 2 because I have Miriam's copy. She's like, do you have 2 Pips? I'm like, no. And then I looked, I'm like, yes, I do. Here is, I call him Stinky, but that's not his name. It's Sugar. How cute is he? The back side. So cute. Here is Abigail. Very fun. I don't know why. I wonder if there's a reason why our little patriotic goat is a goat. Here is Olive. Of course, you've seen this plenty. I guess you pin little baby Goose to the pillow. Oh, there we go. Sorry about all the glare. And we've got, this is so super cute, the Spring Parade sewing basket. Oh my gosh. It is so darling. You can see there's a duck with a flag. And then there's a sheep on the back. Ah, so fun. This is probably one I would want to do like soon. And then this, the Love the Giver pin keep is big. It's really big. I mean, I walked in and I was very surprised. This is done on gingerbread, the new gingerbread by Needle Bling Design. I think that pillow was like, it was big. And then my friend Kelly from Old Colonial Design, she designed this beautiful piece, and I just had to have it. She did such a wonderful job, and it's Romans 8:28. And that is the famous verse that says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purposes. It's a verse that really gives you a lot of hope. Okay, so that wraps up the stash buying. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. But what I also wanted to show you guys was the sampler that I found. Like I said, we hit 2 antique malls before we went to lunch on Thursday morning, and I found this one in one, and I thought it was so unusual. You have the double, let's see if we can do this, the double border. There's some specialty stitches in there. I think that what we see up top, let me look at it. It's a little over 1 pansy. That stuff on top above the dog. There we go. There's, I think, spiral trellis in these flowers, and they're over 1. It's really just gorgeous. And so, yeah, I took it. I thought the price was pretty good. Of course, you never walk out there without trying to negotiate a little bit. So I went up. It's like, anything better to be doing that? And it said ND, which means no discount. So it was what it was, and I was still willing to buy it. So I haven't read the verse, have I? Oh, it's the very, very common, Jesus, permit thy gracious name to stand as the first effort of an infant's, as the first efforts of an infant's hand. Really, that S that looks like an F, it's all over the place here. And as her fingers o'er the canvas move, engage thy tender heart to seek thy love. With thy dear children may she have a part, and write thy name, thyself upon her heart. Wow. Okay, her T is like, it got smaller than the R, so it's just really tiny. I'm like, what'd she do there? Okay. And it says, worked at the Honorable Mrs. Douglas's school, Mary Height, aged 14, 1824. And yes, you can tell she was an older stitcher because it is finely done. I'll let you look at it one more time. Really pretty. It would make a great teaching learning piece because of all the specialty stitches that are in there. Very, very fun and a little bit unusual with a double border. Beautiful. So, all in all, a very successful trip. Came home with less money than normal because obviously I spent some. And I'm glad markets in the rearview mirror. It was just a lot this year. No complaining, none whatsoever. Very grateful for everybody's interest and support that I get, because it would not be possible without you guys. Although we're the creative end, Miso less than others, but we're the creative end of the business, but it doesn't go without you either. So, I am just very, very thankful and grateful. I have a sampler I want to discuss, but not today because time's a ticking. I need to get some orders out and just kind of prepare myself for the week. Like I said, I'm on Sunday, so a week from now I leave for Germany. I'm a little concerned about all the situation. Not only at the airports with TSA, I don't think Dayton would be such a big problem. It's a very small airport, but once I'm in, but it's still, it just concerns me that and the whole world situation and, flying to Europe. It's the first time ever that I've registered my trip with the government agency that monitors, that maybe tracks people, citizens, not really tracks, but it's just a database. So in case they need it, they have it. And I just felt it might be wise this time around to do so. So I did that. And you guys know I've traveled back and forth many, many, many times and never felt any uneasiness. I do a little bit this time around, but we'll see. All right, then I will probably see you guys again after I get back. And until then, I say a blessing over you and hope that your stitching just brings you much joy. And we should see each other then in probably a month's time. Okay, talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.